Hello, welcome to the Dolecast. We've got
Hello.
an outstanding episode for you this week. We have the Cheeky Boy Mammals, the Boytown Boys, Shane Todd and Dave Elliott are this week's guest on the 13th episode of the Dolecast. Last time
14th.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Season, new year, new sort of season. Even though we were halfway into 2020, I think we cut off the Joel episode as the first sort of season 1 of the Dolecast. So we're back, season 2. And we've got
and we've kicked it off with a banger. We've kicked it off with I've lit a firework and it's went, and it's just a complete banger. We've got Shane Todd and Dave Elliott. You may know them. You may know Shane as Mike McGoldrick, Keith Cruz. You may know Dave from his BBC Ulster show that he does with Shane, the BBC Radio.
I thought you were going to say you may know Shane. You may know Shane from the sheer fact that I've harassed him for the past year.
You may, speaking of this, it's one of the first things to talk about. So, there goes the camera. Without further ado, here's our chat with Shane and Dave. Hi, Shane. Dave, how are you?
All good, thank you guys for having us.
Good. I'm glad. This has been a long time coming. It's been about a year in the making.
A year of harassment, more like it's.
A year of harassment. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Restraining orders, police security, all that kind of thing. But it's happened. It's finally happened.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I was half expecting you to have the Dolecast mug there, Shane. Why don't you?
I gotta say that is disrespectful that I don't. But I have a policy of if I drink from a mug, I'll drink from that mug for the rest of the day, and that's not an entertaining podcast chat, but it's just a little bit about.
Yeah. Okay.
That's okay. No,
my psychology.
I don't even have a mug. Like, so it's.
Yeah. He doesn't.
Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah, we'll leave it out.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I like your lighting setup, Daniel.
Thanks. Yeah, so we've got the Dolecast colours. This
blue, just blue. It's just you've trademarked blue as the Dolecast colours.
I like that.
Think blue, think Dolecast. That's what I always say.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's classic. What you think? But no, this has been in the works for a while. I genuinely couldn't believe it when I was listening to Boytown and it was the year anniversary of the podcast, and then you said it, and I was like, oh, that's class. But no, we're so buzzing to have you here. I mean, two of the biggest stand-ups in Northern Ireland, by a long stretch.
And then Daniel Houston.
And then me. Basically, that's the way it goes. But I mean, it's been a while. But you've got 3 podcasts. I think you're doing total, isn't it? You've got Boytown, Tate Me, and then Sly Guy.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I know, Shane, I don't know about you, Dave, but you've had different podcasts. You know, you had the Shane Todd cast, and then have you had any other podcasts, Dave, throughout? I know you did one with Aaron McCann.
Just that one, and then mine was called The Weird Podcast before I switched over because it wasn't really the best merchandising logo and whatnot, so I thought we'd just change it up and do that. So yeah, just the 2 at the minute, which is enough. It does me,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Boytown's kind of always been the main one, the one that stayed the same, and just 2 boys having cheeky fun, but we're kind of too old to be calling ourselves cheeky boys. And the other ones have kind of just not come and gone, but like I tried to do a solo podcast, the Shane podcast, had it for a while, and then sort of just drifted away from it, and now I'm back into doing solo ones. And when Dave started his, he's been doing his pretty much solidly. Dave, you probably started yours not long after I did Shane Podcast, probably a year?
No, I've been doing mine for I don't even know how long. I think it's something like about 140, 150 episodes now from the Sly Guy before, right, going back to when it was the Weird Podcast. So I just try to do that every week to try to sort of try material and do other bits and pieces. So yes, I've kind of got into the habit of it now, and if I stopped, I don't know what to do with my time.
How did you guys start doing the Dolecast? How did you meet?
So me and
Aaron, we meet. Oh dear.
We've been
embryos.
All our lives.
Yeah.
Are you twins?
No.
All right. Okay.
He can't grow facial hair, and that's the difference.
It's funny.
It's kind of like
it's a bit doppelgangers. Yeah, I don't know about you. It's quite similar. Aaron and Dave are on one and me and Shane on the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sort of feeling the back in time.
You guys just got cast in Boytown the movie, by the way. Congratulations.
There we go.
Younger version of
The
yourself.
flashback sequences, fair play. No,
But,
I think I met Daniel when I was about 5, maybe 6, and
You started the Dolecast?
Yeah, in the womb. I think the conception came in the womb, and I've had to tolerate him ever since then. So yeah, it's been
I started a YouTube channel. I did since I was about 10. I've been doing different sort of things on YouTube, but eventually I've sort of found one. I love Northern Irish humor and I love stuff like that, and I'd love to like do stand up when I'm older. But I did. I started with a series on YouTube. The first thing I ever posted was a thing called Cooking on the Dole, which I think I mentioned to you before. It was like, yeah, love it, and it was sort of the idea of just. It was sort of Northern Irish based. It was like a really low budget cooking show, cooking on the dole. And then from there, I must have said the word dole about 500 times a day. And it then came to watched you and different podcasts. And then we went, we're going to do a podcast just called the Dolecast. And that's how this has sort of come about. And then this is the year anniversary, I think, last week of doing the podcast. So, no, it's great. I think we've only done 13 episodes.
We've done 14 episodes, including this one, and I'm already sick of it. So fair play to you for doing like 140 or something.
You got to push through it to start. There definitely is a time where you're like, nothing's happening with it, but it takes so long to like just get into the flow of doing episodes. Like me and Dave noticed anytime we took like a break from Boytown, that's why we do like maybe a BBC show. That's why we don't take breaks now. We just force it out because when we go back to doing it, it's like getting used to the podcast again. See the way you were saying doing stand-up when you're older? Start doing stand-up now. There's nothing cooler than someone doing stand-up when they're really young.
Yeah.
What age are you?
I'm 15 now and 16.
Right, okay.
So I know Aaron looks about 30 with his beard, but yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what would be great. You could just come down with like a guardian. That'd be even better to come into the pubs. And just that'd be great,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what your height situation is, but like one on the other one's shoulders, and then one of just those long coats.
The big trench coats.
Yeah, I'm short,
Aaron,
so yeah.
Aaron can be the face, and then I'll be the body.
You be the legs. You be the legs.
Some big slender man creature walking into.
No, I've got that shotgun.
Walking into pugs, but no, we've been doing this for about a year, and we do love it. And
speak for yourself.
Yeah,
no, I'm joking.
But you had speaking of BBC, I don't know if it is BBC, but you're doing previously now, aren't you? You got commissioned for a series for that, didn't you? That's brilliant.
For a series, yeah. So we're sort of filming that this week and next week, which is mad to do it in lockdown because any time you shoot, like Dave and I did a Channel 4 thing a couple of months ago, and even though it was like a small budget online pilot, how many people would have been in that crew? Dave, about 20, 25?
Yeah, it's a big crew, we about that.
So that's
kind of the one. Sorry, was that the one where you were the IRA member, or was it the
gas?
Gas, yeah.
It was very good. It was funny.
Yeah. Cheers. But things like that have these massive crew, and sometimes you're like, I don't know why there is this many people, and then the more you do it, the more you realize, I do get it. So we're doing this previously show with just me and the producer. Just the two of us, which is mental because it'll go out as a proper series and it's hopefully going to look just as good. But it's kind of a bit of pressure, but I don't mind that to kind of just do it, just the two of us.
Working under pressure, yeah. So we do it.
That's the thing too now with the way things are going. That might be the way a lot of stuff's done now with sort of skeleton crews and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see if something can look as good going out with less people involved, and again, that might open the door for more people doing their own sort of self-funded or low budget things as well.
Yeah, no, I heard you talking about in a few podcasts about the future of stand-up and how obviously with social distancing and everything, it's not gonna go back to the way it was before, and it'll be really strange for a while. I don't know how you guys feel about going straight back in with less numbers or whatever it is. But it's a scary thought, obviously with like going from, previously works with an audience. I watched the first episode and, the audience, it's all laughing, but that's what happens at gigs. But in terms of, but in terms of like recording it by yourself, maybe sometimes you don't know whether it's coming off right, or if there's not, there's going to be a good reception to what you say.
Can't tell. That kind of relies more on the edit, like a well edited, put together thing. Like at the time, it's going to feel weird, but with like the way it's filmed and the way it's shot, it could be different. Me and Dave are kind of in different camps about stand up coming back. Like I'm keen to do. I would do a 500 capacity venue to 10 people tonight, not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But Dave and stand-ups are kind of divided on this, whereas Dave would prefer to, like, you want to hold it out a bit, Dave, and wait until it's a bit more normal?
Yeah, I feel like part of the beauty of stand-up is the fact that you have like packed rooms, and it is quite an intimate thing where a lot of people are together, and I just think it doesn't lend itself to the same kind of atmosphere as if you have a packed room. Obviously we've all done rooms that have been kind of quiet and people do space themselves out. Now, in the case of that, we'd normally be on the stage going, right, would you pull yourselves together to make it a bit tighter? Whereas whenever it's just hard to generate the laughs, and even in terms of spreading the laughs as well, people are more likely to start laughing if they're all tight together. So I just think that with stand-up and a few other things like pints, going to the pub and stuff, and the way people are going mad about getting pints brought to them in wee plastic cups. I'm like, nah, I like a pint in a glass, wait till that happens, wait the stand-ups back to normal. But in the meantime, that's the thing, you've podcasts, you've videos, you've other things that you can do to kind of scratch that itch, so to speak. So I'm just hoping that, it'll come back sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, in indoor gigs, I'd want them to be nice and tight. But again, I watched Dave Chappelle's video today that he did, 8:46, and the way it was shot in a field with social distancing was kind of cool. So an outside venue I'd be up for doing, but inside I've got to have it packed.
You guys did the rave lockdown there for was it 10 weeks on BBC Radio Ulster? Class. Mm-hmm. Yeah, loved it. The better half of my parents' Friday night was them dancing in the kitchen asking for shabas. But they did love it. It's great that you guys are back for, is it another, how long is it this time?
9 this time. 9 weeks. Yeah.
So I mean, you've done well to pull that. It's obviously, I know the way it's hard with radio getting slotted in and everything, but there was a really good reception to the whole show, wasn't there? So I mean, I've certainly seen people, even like on your Instagram stories, people just going wild for it the whole time, which is obviously really good to see,
Well, we kind of we're on BBC Sounds for 9 weeks to sort of plug the gap where we would normally go away in Radio Ulster and then wait to come back.
Yeah.
So this is the first time where they've just kept us there because the show was kind of so well received. But we had to really scrap for that, really kind of make that happen. And, I don't know, kind of just have the balls almost to go, we don't want this show to go away. And you kind of, had to almost melt people's heads about it to get it back. But it's worked, and I mean, the way we're recording them is weird as well, to be over Zoom and both in our houses, because we're used to being in the studio together, and we're so giddy when we're in the studio together, facing each other and trying not to laugh. But we've sort of been able to do this as well as we can, but it'll be good to get in the studio and see his big fucking stupid head.
I think we found that actually not the same level I take it as you have, but there was an episode where we were talking about how Australia, it was at the start of lockdown, had no toilet paper. And for us, it was just the funniest thing, that how a whole country, especially the size of Australia, can just scotch free of toilet paper, But I feel like if you do that over Zoom, because it's not the physical chemistry just isn't there because it's not present, it can be a bit more, I don't know, harder to actually get in and laugh about it. But we've had more serious topics and stuff, and it's been good. I mean, Zoom's a good alternative, but it is better just to do it in person.
See with Zoom, I think obviously face to face is the best you can do it, really. But over Zoom, I think it opens doors, realizing how easy Zoom is. Even for a technophobe like me to be able to work Zoom, to have that option, you can get guests who otherwise you couldn't, you know. So like you can ask people to come on the podcast, and we had a guest in Boytown there last week, Paul Stafford, which he wouldn't have come into a room with us because legally we are forbidden from being within 20 meters of him. But you know, other than that, like we're trying to get guests more in Boytown. We can get people who otherwise, you know, it's just easy to sit in front of a computer than it would be to do face to face. So I think it's definitely going to improve podcasting, generally speaking, for the better. But obviously, we're dying to get back into the studio again and sort of get back to the silly ways of before.
Yeah. No, speaking of which, I saw your big birthday bash during the week on your podcast. Aaron Butler is extremely funny. The pictures, the virtual background, and you trying to do the virtual background as well.
The thing is,
Aaron,
I mean, could you do the virtual background now? Would it still come up in your face?
Dave,
feel free.
Don't be stupid. I've obviously mastered the virtual background.
There it is.
Yeah, virtual backgrounds.
Yeah, I can do it too.
Wow.
That's.
So the thing with guys, you better respect. The thing with Aaron is, we kind of like. Yes, Aaron is very funny, but Dave and I created Aaron. Like Aaron was working in an office, wanted to be a solicitor, and Dave and I write anything he said. Like even like in podcasts, it looks like we're just having a back and forth conversation, or Aaron puts a funny background. That's all me and Dave.
Yeah, we've pre-written that. Like, if you ever see the video of 50 Cent in the club, like that video where Eminem and Dr. Dre are behind with the wee notepad, that's like Shane and I, we're like, right, everything he does, we're writing it for him, basically.
There's parts of him we would like to have had more skin for when we were creating them, but we just had to sort of leave it as is. But no, he's definitely an interesting
yeah, interesting is a good word,
Right. No, he is. It's when he put up "Where's Bunter" on his virtual. I died. I thought that was.
You love that, don't you, Shane? Actually, when people do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you get that all the time from people.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that's annoying about it is I don't have an answer for them. You know, I'm like, I don't know. I need to give him a ring. See what he's. He's just in his house, like.
Fair enough. What would be? I'm just curious. You know, out of like one of my favorite sketches, obviously the Bunter one, but the Belfast film, where you guys were they're doing the accents of American guys or whoever trying to do our accents. And it's not crazy accurate. I know a lot of it's overemphasized, but like they can't do our accents or they can't even understand it. Was there like a part of that video or any other sketches that you have done that like you couldn't get through blooper wise because of how funny it was or how ridiculous it was?
We work in a weird way where like I almost like Dave and I kind of not scold each other, but we've done that much stuff together, and obviously like so much of Boytown, and even this is like me and him like roasting each other, taking the piss. But we can do that because like he is my best friend, and vice versa. Well, he's probably my third best friend, maybe his first. And the thing is, we can roast each other so much, but we can be straight with each other too. I mean,
which might be hard to believe.
We can be gay with each other at the same time, but like if we're doing a sketch and time's against us and we need to like just get through it, we can say to each other like, "Yo, just do it," and we kind of shout at each other and scold each other.
I do remember
there
was one time it stands out, was whenever we were doing the second run of the radio show, and I had to like read wee facts to Shane, like with the quacks with a question at the end. And there was one in particular I remember about the Victorian children or Victorian adults dressing their children as miniature adults, and how many times we had to cut that. Like we actually got told off by the producer. He was like, right, we're stopping recording, go use outside, get a cup of tea, get some water, and then please come back in. And then as soon as I said, do you know the Victorians dressed off again, we just had to fully stop and go on to the next one. That was one that was
I thought you were going to say something else. What is in my head as one that we just couldn't keep our faces straight for? I mean, there's been so many, and a lot of it is when no one else finds it funny, but me and him do. That's the time when you laugh the most because you know that we both know we're just weird guys.
I know what was very funny. Whenever we were doing Thick As, we were in the scene where we're in the newsagents. And Ian Beattie, who was playing the kind of the gangster, he was there, but he was running a line, right? And the only line he kept saying was "fuck's sake," right? So I was directly in front of his face, behind him, and he was just going "fuck's sake." Sick. And then like I just caught Shane's eye, and the two of us are going, this is kind of funny. So when I actually came to the scene and he said it for the first time, I just laughed in his face. And then they were like, right, Dave, just what's wrong there? And I'm sorry, I don't know what happened there. Then the whole time behind him, he's like this.
Yeah.
It was great.
Just before we've got, now we do this with every sort of guest we have on. Now Aaron's usually in charge of this, mainly because I can't remember it, and because I don't know what's going on half the time.
That's kind of like me. I like that.
Yeah. Do you know tier lists? So tier lists is in like best to worst sort of thing. So with our last guest, we did UK sweets, best to worst, but instead of worst, we have a thing, and we did this a couple episodes ago called the Shadow Realm, and it's just you do not go near it, as in like gun to your head, you'd say no, and you pull the trigger.
They feel like that.
Yeah.
So Aaron, if you want to read them out there.
All right, sweet. So just curious, from like from God tier being like really nice for the top, mid, low, and then Shadow Realm. Like for me, licorice goes in the Shadow Realm. I wouldn't go near licorice, that sort of thing. Just a few. So a Cadbury cream egg. Where would you put a Cadbury cream egg on a tier list?
Now, what's below God in the Shadow? Like, what's in the middle realm there?
There's God tier, top tier, mid tier, low tier, and then the Shadow Realm. And if you're feeling that like extra about it, underneath the Shadow Realm is just death, just straight up.
Oh,
death.
whoa!
I'm going top tier.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's not quite God, but it's good.
Yeah.
If you have too many cream eggs, you're throwing up. There's no way about it.
You know what actually goes in though to God tier for me is mini cream eggs, but ones that are already out of the wrapping when you open them.
Yeah.
Because what the worst thing is opening a packet of mini cream eggs and they're all individually wrapped. Yeah. I don't have that kind of time. Yeah. So whenever you open them and they're all just a wee chocolate eggs, back in the day when I had chocolate, that would have been God tier for me.
Fair enough. Where would you put a custard cream in a tier list?
This is dodgy here. You need to be careful. But
dodgy territory, these ones.
I'd say bottom tier. I'll go bottom tier in that one. Yeah.
Shane, depending on what you say here, you could be booted off this Zoom meeting very quickly.
Come on, me. God tier.
Okay.
That's very controversial.
But let me specify: a hard custard cream, God tier. If you have one of those custard creams that easily breaks apart, is a little bit soft, forget it. Lower tier. Yeah. But honestly, a good solid custard cream. I think there's one brand in particular. It might be Crawford's, and I don't know how I know that, but they're God.
He's asking for a sponsorship. He's just Crawford's custard creams,
like collab. Yeah, God tier.
All right, another controversial one. Where would you put a Bounty bar?
Oh, death. Absolute death. Hate Bounty. It's my least. Yeah, for sure.
That's the best answer we've ever received.
I'll go lower tier, and then I'll put the red Bounty bars in the like deep blue sea tier or whatever it is you just said. No one's ever bought one. They just keep them on sale out of spite because they're like, no, somebody will buy one at some point.
The worst feeling in the world is when you go and see a box of Celebrations and you open them and you're like, oh yes, and it's just Bounty. You maybe get the odd Snickers, which you can do, but the Bounties, like I would go full green Hulk anger if I just got a box of Celebrations full of Bounties.
What would you say about Topics? I genuinely don't think I've had one.
Topics are all right. Topics would be sort of on the middle of the spectrum.
I don't know. I've never
here's the thing. I would never buy a Topic. If you're at your granny's house and she goes, take a Topic, you go, why are you speaking like that, granny? But then also you'd be like, go ahead. But yeah, Topics, you never buy one. If you had your own money, you'd never buy one. But
yeah, I never had one.
If they're going.
I think one thing we put in the Shadow Realm was dip dabs. Dip dabs are you got the wee thing and you dip, and it's like, what? It's like, that's just diabetes material. There's.
I've one that I would put in the God tier that a lot of people would be like, you're insane. Would be Turkish Delights.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, you think someone like we're not doing
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fry's Turkish Delight, because Fry's the original Turk. He makes some good shit. Like, I could eat that all day. It's like soap inside chocolate. What else do you want?
To
That's
me,
controversial.
when you buy a Turkish Delight, like, you should be on some sort of register. And
I am.
You know which one I'm talking about, my friend. So I don't know why Turkish Delights are on sale. I don't know why they're a thing. The only thing I'm putting in like the proper God tier is potentially the best chocolate bar of all time. I can't eat them anymore. And absence definitely makes a heart grow fonder. Let's give it up for the Dime Bar.
Yes. Dime bars are good.
Yeah.
Phenomenal bar. And
Mhm.
you buy it and you go, this is thin and there's not that much of it. But
Nice.
it's not the size that matters, it's the taste. And Dave will tell you that.
Mm-hmm. And the weight behind it. But yeah, definitely the Dime is a good call.
I think I'd stick Galaxy maybe up. Maybe no. I don't know if I'd go top. I don't know if I'd go God tier. Maybe halfway between God tier and top tier. So I'd stick a Galaxy.
But there's something I'm going to throw in here that I definitely think is an age thing. See, once you hit your 30s, you start going, yeah, that's good. Whereas before, you wouldn't buy it, you wouldn't want it. Whereas now, it's probably one of my favorites. Is a fruit and nut bar.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm all about those now.
Dave.
Come back to me in 15 years, and you guys will be like, you know what? It's like it's an acquired taste, the fruit and nut bar, but it's good gear.
What would you guys think about dark chocolate?
I mean, given the way the world is at the minute, I'm pro all chocolate. But dark chocolate's good when you're on a diet, for sure. But it's just, it doesn't beat milk chocolate. You know, nothing beats milk
Somebody
chocolate.
said to me about dark chocolate, they're like, it's really good for you, and if you can't eat milk chocolate, if you're allergic to dairy like I am, you can have dark chocolate. And then I was like, brilliant, and I bought a bar of dark chocolate, ate it, and then reacted the same way as I would to milk chocolate. So dark chocolate for me.
And what is the reaction you have? Do you just go like, or do you?
I go like this. I hold my tummy and I go, like that.
And does it cause you to have a wee bit of a poop, or
not really? No.
Just vomit and get really angry?
Cramps, David, cramps.
All right, okay.
I think cramps is probably worse than diarrhea, if I'm being honest. If we have to put the human.
I mean, if you're out today wearing white shorts, give me those cramps.
We've gone from dark chocolate to diarrhea really quickly here. I'm slightly worried about it. Dark chocolate and diarrhea, brilliant.
That's actually the name of our double act.
Oh dear.
Just before we leave you here, with a few listeners' questions that we'd like to get through. First one, and he's been begging for me to ask you this all week. So Phil Dorman says, would Mike McGoldrick and Nigel, as in Paddy Raff's Nigel, ever have a face-off to see who's the most posh? Surely the nation needs to know. It could be social media gold.
I mean, it would be gold, all right. But
I've actually been suggesting he does this for quite a while, and he says it's just not been something that he's been able to arrange yet. So, I mean,
yeah,
there's a bit of. Would you say there's a bit of pressure for us?
I've been trying to arrange it, but not getting any word back on it. So
who do you think is more posher?
I mean, I'd say McGoldrick's been on the scene for longer. Whether that makes him posher or not, I'm not really too sure. Dave?
I mean, I'm going to say it would be like comparing Raphael, the footballer, with Fabio. They're both just the same. So it's hard to differentiate. One's obviously better. And who's better to Raphael and Fabio? Raphael, because he's probably there first, wasn't he? So, yeah.
Tough one to call, yeah.
Brilliant.
Fair enough.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, goodness.
What is this?
Unlimited minutes.
We've got a few others here. Ben Longsdale says, favourite venue you've performed at? That's the both of yous.
David?
I'll let you take this one first. I need to think, because I don't have a venue. I just go, oh, that's the one. That's the money,
I did stand up at and let me explain, private members club in London. I wasn't stripping. That was stripping for Middle Eastern businessmen. That was after the set. No, I did stand up in this private members club in London for a showcase for the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Me, Mickey Bartlett, a couple other comedians, and it was a good gig. But the venue itself was unreal. It was like 70s glamour. It was like like cabaret seating, like round tables with candles. the stage, had a wee staircase. You came down, and Dave always gets at me because anytime I play a nice venue, I text him and go, mate, I'm going to record a special here 100%. And he says I say that about 1,000 venues.
Yeah.
So, but that venue stuck out for me as being very class.
Brilliant.
I'm going to say one that's just probably underrated would be the Crescent Arts Centre. I find it's a really good venue. Like if I were to do a special, I would want to film it in there. Again, not a lot goes on there anymore because it costs an absolute arm and a leg to rent it. But as a venue, anytime I've done in there, it's been really good fun and good crowd. But yeah, it's hard to, I don't know. There's, it would be easier probably to say venues are like, oh no, I hate it in there, than it would be to say ones that you love, really.
Has there any been like a gig that, well, there probably has taken it, but has there been a gig that's just absolutely colossal? You just wouldn't want to, like thinking about it, like makes you hurt somewhere, your heart just, stops?
First time I did Ulster Hall probably by myself was that, and then I thought it would be like that for the Waterfront, and I wasn't. I was nervous, but I wasn't like, I thought I can do this, whereas first time I was doing the Waterfront, I was like, what have I done?
What's actually worse? It's worse doing a gig in a small room that you can see everybody than it is doing it in a big room that you can't. Because if you, like say you're playing like at Ulster Hall or somewhere, you go out and you can't really see the crowd, so you're just saying your act and doing your act, and you can react to what's going on. Whereas in some places you can just go in, like into a bar in the middle of the country somewhere that no one actually wants to see stand up. They're just there for a quiet pint, and then you get given a mic and there's like just old men going, what the hell are you doing here? And that's more daunting than it is to do, I think, a big room.
Brilliant.
Fair enough.
We've got our last question here. Ryan Hill says, out of all the characters both of you play, what's been your favourite character to play, or who's been your favourite character to play?
I'll throw in two.
Yeah.
With me and Dave. One would be the Spanish singers, because that's always fun to do, because we kind of half write those and half make it up on the spot, and some of the best belly laughs filming something come from that. And the other one's probably Troubles with the 80s, because you're like dressed up in character, you've got props, there's script printed out, and it just always feels like when we're doing those, we're excited to actually see the finished thing and stuff. So that's really enjoyable. And the fact that we do them so infrequently, like we've chatted over lockdown.
6 years.
Every 6 years.
Every 6 years we'll do Troubles with the 80s. That's kind of the thing.
Fair enough.
But I think after lockdown we're gonna do a bit more of that. So
yeah,
fingers crossed we're allowed to see each other again someday.
That's brilliant. But yeah, no, we've really enjoyed having you on. We'll let you go here. I'll speak to you for 2 minutes after we just stop recording here. But thanks very much for
no problem, guys. Thank you.
No worries, guys.
And here now, you need to send me a Dolecast mug. You've got to send him one. You're gonna have to send me one now.
I'll just take the one that I've got now, wrap it up, and send it your way.
Yeah, definitely give me a new one that's not got COVID-19 on it for sure. Yeah, there's a pandemic, man. Come on, give me a fresh one. Flip's sake. I'll put some sanitizer in it. Yeah.
No worries. The first day you're back, there'll be a wee present for you. Don't actually hold me to that, because
I will. I'll even come outside the venue because you'll not be allowed in, and I'll wait. And then I'll not tell anyone I'm waiting for a 15-year-old boy, because that'll get me into trouble. But
you might not be able to play after, because
definitely not. Like, hopefully if the police are doing their jobs.
That is great. But thanks so much for coming on. And
no worries, guys.
Back.
Yes, no problem.
Thank you.
Cheers for having us.
Whoa, wow. How did that happen? Magic. But we're back. It's just us.
Did you cut yourself?
Yeah, we did. We've booted Shane and Dave out. They're finished. They're not coming back. But no, thanks to the Boytown boys for coming on. Hashtag, I was gonna say hashtag, it's like make Boytown great again and BGT, but I didn't know what were the words meant.
The abbreviation.
But this is the first time we've actually been on a podcast, just us, and you know what? It's been very on Zoom and on just us two. The other stuff was conspiracy theories.
That was a while back, wasn't it? And then I didn't go on the Hythe Clan one plus Ollie Scott, and I know they'll get annoyed if I don't say it was Hythe Clan plus Ollie Scott, because as we found out from the comments, Ollie Scott is not on Hythe. Sorry,
Are these lights really bright?
Yeah. When was the last time it was a solo podcast for me and you? 3 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
not as long as I thought it was. But also, I didn't want to say it during the Shane Dave part because we only had them for about 30 minutes. But someone commented on the last Joel podcast, "Girlie needs a shave." LMAO. I did it. I got a shave. I trimmed, not fully shaved.
That was brilliant, by the way. When I don't know how it lines up for me. I'm gonna look at my video of it later, but it lines up on my screen. So you're there, Dave's beneath you, and I'm there.
I think for me, it's you're here, I'm here, and then they're right underneath us, which is nice because Dolecast.
So yeah, they're lower than us. Yeah. But no, we had a good
luck getting them back with that one.
We had a good laugh with them.
I enjoyed it. I had a good time.
Yeah,
a good time. 100%. I know. I doubt they even listened to this part or the episode entirely, but I know you were a lot more nervous probably than I was. To be fair, like with all our guests, I don't reach out.
For me, it was For me, Dave and Shane were the goal in a penalty shootout in the World Cup, and I was just like
shooting and missing for a year.
Yeah, and I don't know. Halfway through, Dave made a reference to footballers, Raphael and Fabio.
No clue. I'm the Scooby. Absolutely no idea.
I wish I could refer to this because I have no idea what.
I thought you knew. But at the same time, I could tell we were both in the.
Dave, if you're listening to this, I thought it was brilliant. But then there was one time he went, "Oh, have you seen the video of 50 Cent in the club?" And I was like,
yes,
have a clue. I was like, no, I haven't seen 50 Cent in the club. I can't say I have.
Do you know what? You watch that back and you just see us go.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I was actually there in the background for that video recording.
I actually was I am 50 Cent's manager, mate. I don't know if you knew that.
Actually, I'm 50 Cent. Maybe.
Mission Impossible, style the mask off. Brilliant. Simply brilliant.
Next week, hopefully.
Bill Gates will be on the podcast.
Bill Gates, and
then Steve Jobs.
Jeff Bezos. I can't say his name.
Jeff Bezos.
That one, he'll appear halfway through. We'll be like, oh, Bill, we've got a surprise for you. Yeah,
that would be brilliant as well, because if that was episode 2 of season 2 of the Dolecast, season 1, episode 2 was the James one, where we brought a surprise guest on to surprise James. So,
yo, Bill, it's Jeff, and he just starts. Right.
They start talking about stocks, and it just gets really boring. Where James and Sadiq, it was just pure slobber fest, you know.
But hopefully next week we'll have Tim Gallagher on from Dirt Civil.
Mm-hmm. And then I'd say after that we just do a solo one. We've had a lot of guests on the past four episodes, so it'd be the past 4. So.
I've loved having guests on. It's also, I think, even after the pandemic, I think guests we should do via Zoom or something, because it's like, you know, it's really simple. You know, like we were able to have a chat with them there for 30 minutes, and just there was no sort of hassle. Shane's face with the green screen was the only thing, but apart from that,
that was funny. That was good.
Yeah, brilliant. See, I didn't know.
Brilliant. Do you know how powerful I am? That entire past minute, I've been trying to hold back a sneeze, and I just held it back. It could come. It could still come out, but I'm proud of myself for that one. You might just see me staring into nothing in the void, just a straight up shadow realm, because I was trying to hold back a sneeze. Class. Was there any other question? I know there was a few questions we didn't get read out, but obviously there's no really point in reading them out because we're not Shane or Dave. But I take it there's no questions.
Go for it. Well, here's a question for us. If you both, so that's me and you, were not international superstar comedians and DJs, what would you be?
Something in the movie industry, hopefully.
I would probably be one of those fun doctors. I'd walk in ready to
Specify.
A doctor that works in a hospital.
Okay.
So I'd walk in and I'd rubber gloves on, and I'm it's Dr. D here, Dr. Daniel.
Oh no,
Dr. D, and I just
that's a hole. They're digging a hole.
It's Dr. D, time for some surgery, and then I just give them a lung transplant.
I'd be a fun doctor.
No, I mean like a hipster doctor. Like I'm You know.
Yeah, just that's what I'd say, mate. Sure.
I'm having banter with my patients. Hey man, you're gonna die, but do you want to hit up McDonald's later? You know, and it's high five from all ends.
No, in all seriousness, like I have no idea job-wise what I want to do. Directing and just movie making in general, if I could get into that as a hobby, which we do, would be where I want to go. Where I am going to go, no clue. But I've actually don't. What do you want to do? I have no idea what you want to do.
I mentioned it briefly. I mentioned it briefly on Shane Dave. I'd love to do comedy. Do not. No, don't. I'd love to. Don't do
it. No. If we had to speak realistically, because what we are wanting as a profession is very hard to get into, what would you want?
Plain boring office job.
What? No. So a film crew could follow you about, and you could look into the camera every now and then.
You believe in karma? But karma. That's quite nice. No one has any idea what that's a reference to. But because inside jokes are the best way to really clue an audience in. I don't know. I don't even know what I'd like to do. Like maybe I'd like to work maybe in a cinema. Like if I had to choose, not for the rest of my life. Just as like a job, Yeah, you just watch free. Well, you wouldn't even watch free movies. No, you can. Like I know someone. I've moved up too far down. I know a guy in school who. There's no point hiding what age we are anymore, by the way, because that got me straight off the bat. But not me, but a guy in school. Brother works in 45 next week, like so. Yeah, exactly. Works in movie house cinemas in Cityside. Probably should begin this way. I won't say name. And he says that like they just go to check, like they're told to go check. So you see like half an hour snippets of each movie, which like if I'm not going to go and see the film myself, I'd 100% do. I hate horror films as well, so I'd be like, I'd be in and out. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. Got Chucky 75s on. I'm like, he's good. Bye bye. Chucky 75. He's just walking in a wheelchair, and he's like, I'm gonna get it. Chucky 75. They've done too many Child's Play movies, and the most recent one, that sucked apparently. Not that I'd know, I just know Mark Hamill played Chucky, which I imagine was a good performance, but... someone make a Chucky 75 poster and we'll put it in the background. Put us on it. Can I point out, I know it was a big joke, but he said that we've got the parts of the younger them in the Boytown movie. Yeah, so that's... yeah. I mean... Yeah. I know you'd know Shane's mannerisms, but I'd have to study Dave like a hawk. Like, I'll have no idea. I haven't even seen Aaron. He hasn't come out of his room for 2 weeks, and he just pictures Dave all over the wall, and he's like, hey, I'm at work here. I'm a method actor. I wouldn't even consider myself a method actor. I respect all method actors, but after watching what Jared Leto did with Joker, I'm all right. Even Heath Ledger as well, yeah. Yeah, well, Heath Ledger did method acting right. Jared Leto did not do method acting in the slightest, right? Absolute. He sent dead pigs to people, like. Yeah. Where do you get that? I know you're dressed as the Joker, but where do you get dead pigs? Yeah. Unless he's driving home from work and he sees a field and he's got a machete in the back. You know what I mean? But like, where does he grab these dead pigs from? Seriously? Jared Leto's like, I'm away from my lunch here, lads, 2 minutes, and he walks to the local market, and he's like, has anyone seen Jared? He walks in with in the Joker thing, tattoos, he's got the purple thing on, and that guy, the big massive eyeball guy, and he's got his whole gang there, and they've got fake guns. He's like, we're gonna need your pigs, and they just slash, you know what I mean? And I don't care if you say that was a bad Jared Leto impression because of Joker, because nobody remembers what his Joker sounds like, so we're sweet, How long have you done? Is that what you're really wondering about? No, I just wondering how long. I couldn't tell you. Probably not long enough. 2 hours. No, we need something to talk about. Come on! Something to talk about here. I don't think we do. I think we're fine. Nobody's listening to this part anyway, so... apart from if you are and you've heard Chucky 75, I want you to comment down below Chucky 75. Chucky 75, and that's your true Doler. Like, get one of these bad boys.
Do not promise that. You've promised
and
too many people.
And there'll be a really grey picture of Chucky in the back with golden hair. And
what you could do is you could just put Chucky's face in the actual center of it. So when you finish it, you get a jump scare. You know, you finish your coffee.
Oh, love have smashed another one for flip's sake. Honestly, why do we keep buying them?
She's like, why do you keep buying them? You're getting scared of the same grey, faded picture of Chucky.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, brilliant.
Right,
yeah.
so I'm going to name drop a few names. Ben Lonsdale will be listening. Ryan will be listening. Griezmann will be listening. Who else will be listening?
Oh, I need to read our Ben's. I need to read our Ben's questions because I really did forget. Ben Davidson asked, has lockdown affected how you write or produce comedy skits? How would you say lockdown affected you writing comedy skits?
Or when we were doing the skits, it was more like we get them done, we write them out. Yeah, we write them, we get them done, we'd go out, we'd film them, BBC would contact us and we'd be like,
I'd be like, stuff you BBC.
Yeah.
We're doing it ourselves.
They'd give us X amount of time. Normally it would be too little. And then we'd go in. But no, I think it sort of changes in. I've had to set the green screen up. I've had to just write my own material now, and it's a lot harder.
I've had to set the green screen up. It's a real shame, this Rona.
All right, any other questions?
Yeah. He says, have you enjoyed doing stuff with the Northern Ireland football team?
I'll pass that one to you, yeah, because you had a bad experience.
I thought Stephen Davis was a real ass, and I would not work with him again.
The thing was,
too tall. I couldn't see him. His head was in the clouds.
If he was too tall for you, like imagine how well he was for me.
I nearly. Shane was like, I think it was like, yeah, talking about going and getting in the bar. And I was like, guys, what if I just stand up and show you how tall I am? And I was like, let's just refrain from standing up and making this.
How tall actually are you?
We'll see.
Don't tell me you're okay. Yeah, but surely you'd have to measure yourself.
This is.
I thought like you could just rhyme me off something off the bat, like. Because
did you hear a word of it?
No, I was saying I thought you were going to rhyme me just a random height off the bat. That you
probably 5'9", I'd say.
No,
taller. Taller, maybe 5'10".
Yeah, I mean, so if I'm like 5'7", we stack each other on top. Where you get this 10-foot man in a trench coat,
beer, and we walk in. And we're here to see some comedy. I mean, I'm here to see some comedy.
We're here. Where's the comedy? Point me in the direction of comedy.
Point me in the direction of comedy.
Not that I'd even have to deepen the voice, but we just do it just cause.
Yeah. Point me. You walk in and you start screaming. Point me in the direction.
Has anybody seen the comedy? No, but like back to the Northern Irish football thing. I'm not a big football fan. I think I've said that before. I'm more of a rugby fan, and even then, fan is pushing it. So when I walked in and I saw the football players there, I didn't know a single person. So what I did was started going about, and I just started, hitting them with some material. I wrote it last week, and I was like, and they really liked it. The entire time I was improvising, and I was like, by the end of it, one of them was like, "Oh, can you go talk to Patrick?" And I had no idea. Absolutely no. He was like, "Patrick would love your material."
There was no person on the Northern Irish football squad named Patrick.
Well, if you had a listen.
No, Patrick, this boy, he's like 30 pounds, and he's the big daddy, and he just starts running.
He's the bench warmer.
He doesn't even have a shirt on. He's got the letters and the number tattooed onto his back because he can't fit in any of the shirts, and he just runs towards him. Give it to Patrick. But at the Patrick, it hits his moves, and it bounces off into both. It splits the ball in two. And
both nets.
Golden in Harry Potter, and Northern Ireland instantly win every single time, and the stadium explodes. Not just the cheers, like it actually just explodes.
Imagine that.
Nice one, Patrick. Well done, mate. You've done it again. Congrats.
I'd love to see. Do you know, like in an action movie, say, just give or take Mission Impossible? I know this hasn't happened, but you know, it's like, oh, they've rigged the stadium to blow. I would love to see it where one just blows up.
Has been down that entire podcast. That's so gotten. But
What?
I mean, brightness has been done in the entire podcast.
Okay, but what I'd love to see from like a movie like that was like the stadium's rigged to blow. I'd love to see one who has the guts to just blow it up and just kill all the. The only thing I can think of is The Dark Knight Rises, and even then they crumbled the pitch. You know what I mean? They didn't just straight up blow the stadium up. That'd be brilliant. I'd be like, I want an Empire Strikes Back of Mission Impossible. I want one where the mission is impossible and they don't get it done. You know what I mean? Every mission that is impossible is clearly possible because you've made like 6 movies. You know? See, Tom Cruise is making a movie in space of Elon Musk.
No, talking about that. No, talking about that.
Thank you for watching the Dolecast.
When is the man going to die? Like when? It'll be breaking news. Tom Hanks filming his new movie in the
Tom
50
Cruise.
minutes. What? Hi. How is he doing now?
Tom Hanks in the 5th dimension is just Woody.
Yeah.
He's just Woody.
Why did I say Tom Hanks?
Because it's Tom.
Tom Cruise. Oh.
They're both famous Toms.
Why did I say Tom Hanks? Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise is filming his entire movie in 2D animation. What? He's turned himself into 2D animation. Oh, right, that was rumoured, to be fair.
Tom Cruise is now filming in molecular levels. He's in the quantum realm.
Tom Cruise is filming his entire movie on one singular atom. Okay.
Wait, is he on an atom? Is he just on?
Like the single thousands of atoms that I picked up from hitting the table.
You've just killed 100,000 people of the crew.
He's taken one of those and he's just went, yeah.
Tom Cruise to film in the rings of Saturn, and do you know the rings of Saturn are just rocks? They're just
rock.
Yeah. And he would still do the run. Still do the run, guaranteed.
Someone can get Tom Hanks running on the rings of Saturn.
Tom Cruise.
And both of them. You can get, that's the new blockbuster. It's called The Rings of Saturn, and it's Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks, and they're both the TV.
I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make it.
Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise on The Rings of Saturn coming in 2016. It's happened. 2016.
No. That's the thing. They made a time machine for the movie as well. Tom Cruise will be the first
news.
man.
Tom Cruise going back in time to release film.
But the thing is, the movie will already have came out, but they've only filmed it this year.
Breaking news, Tom Cruise has gone back in time with Tom Hanks to release movie on the Rings of Saturn 4 years early. What?
For no reason.
How have you done this?
Do you know the thing is, Tom Cruise could just lie and say he's made a time machine and say he's going to release it 2 years from now. You just keep it for 2 years. You know? Brilliant. I think that's a good segment to end on. All right.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Class, it's been the Dolecast. Shane, I'm recording it, it doesn't matter, okay? I forgot Shane and Dave were even on this one, but cheers.
Must have been a really good chat then.
I mean, Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks on the Rings of Saturn and Chucky 75 were just...
That sounds like Johnny Cash will come back and do the soundtrack. On the Rings of Saturn. Right, okay. That's us done. I've had enough. Let's get on.
Say goodbye.
Yeah.